Welcome to video number 5 in the Beko 1987 Dyson DC24 extravaganza week. It should be Thursday, possibly Friday. I don't know if I'm starting this on a Monday or a Sunday yet. I'm just filming it for now. Welcome to a day ending in Y, and today we have, we're going to start with the Brushroll assembly. Then we're going to crack on with the Cyclone. So, sit back, relax, grab a drink, and I'll show you how to take this pile of bits and make a Dyson DC24 Brushroll assembly. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Yes, congratulations for sticking with me for yet another DC24 week video. To everybody who's come here via the complete unknown, maybe you're drunk, wondering what the hell you're watching but can't quite dare to turn it off. Maybe you like looking at my dirty carpet. Maybe you want to fix your Dyson. I mean, it could happen. If you just stumbled across this video, links are in the description for the first look. The first video, I think I did the chassis and the motor. Second video where we did this and the Cyclone. Third video where I broke something. So there, it's all down there. Catch up. What we need to do today is put the Brushroll back together. And there's a couple of things we can start with. First is going to be putting whichever one of these two identical bits of foam make up the front rubber seal for the clear Brushroll housing, which is this piece of foam, like so. Not quite sure what that is. I'll be honest, we'll leave that over there until later. Once that is in place, we next need to put the Brushroll motor in. Here it is. These die regularly. I'm amazed this is dead already, quite frankly. They fill themselves, in fact this one is, they fill themselves full of fluff like you would not believe. They burn out. They're Johnston motors, like made by a company called Johnston. And I once found the fact sheet from the manufacturer. They used to have a 60-hour life. 60 hours. It's terrible. They do burn out. Sadly, when they burn out, they tend to take this with them. This is the cheap part. These are a couple of quid second hand. If you talk to Manchester Vacs on internet, they'll sell you one for a couple of quid. It will cost you the same in postage as that one. It's these motors that cost the actual money, sadly. These motors are not, well, they're not cheap. They're not expensive, but they're not cheap at all, sadly. They really are very, very fiddly and prone to breaking. This one seems alright, so the first screw we have is the one that holds the motor onto there. The front screw is part of this bit, so don't worry about that just yet, is it? No, it's part of this bit. My mistake. The front screw is held on by that anyway. Why have you pulled out? I didn't ask you to do that. There we are. The next thing that really should go on is the clear housing, which just sits over the top of it all, nicely like so, making sure that wire is fed underneath quite nicely. Then we need to put the PCB in. This one has the reset switch. The later ones don't. The later ones have it up the top by the main switches. Or I think they have an auto correct, if that's the right word. Auto reset functionality in the PCB itself. So when the power is killed, when you turn the motor off, it then auto resets itself. Either way, to lift up the clear housing a little bit, slot the PCB in, and then push it all down until it sits behind its retaining clip there. Then you need to lift it back up again because the wiring for the main input wiring needs to actually go underneath it. I forgot about that. There we go. And then once you check you've got enough slack, which we almost have, that plugs in to the circuit board on top there, which you've got to line up precisely right. There we go. And then that goes in there. So we have that plugged in. I should probably bring it down. This is a bit high for this video. Hang on. Let's try that. I know I'm giving 4K filming a bash and all that, but oh, you don't want to see that. But that was a little bit extreme. So you've got your circuit board in. We now need to put this in, which is the cover. Well, it's not really a cover, it's a trim piece for the reset switch. That literally just sits really loosely in there. Now we have to plug the motor in and then feed its wires up and over this clear plastic housing. So you take a flat base screwdriver, you literally just push the wires in like so. Now if your Dyson DC24 head has broken, and I'm going to label this video how to reassemble, you know, a Dyson DC24 head, get the old algorithm going. Do bear in mind though that it is actually cheaper, or has been for ages, just to buy a whole brand new Dyson DC24 Brushroll head. Literally, for some strange reason, they got flooded with, you know, proper genuine legit heads, and it was cheaper just to buy the whole head than just to buy the motor. I've done it a few times because I said to the customer, I said, you know, it is just easier to do that. I don't mind. Once that is in, this can now push down, and we need all of the screws that hold the brush roll in place. Oh my gosh, all these screws. There we go. And I'm going to fast forward this bit for you because not even I would watch it. I'll be sort of screwing it all up. Now you notice I started putting the middle screw in. That was silly because the middle screw holds the bumper in. So the bumper goes on, sort of starts to clip in at the end. Then it's these middle screws. There we go, look, they clamp it all together and make it properly work. Just like so. Marvellous. Now we can take our front wheels, and again you'll find stuff like that falls out of them. That's what makes them not turn. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you regularly check, because then they wear down and you probably won't notice really because they don't do a lot, but it can be annoying, can't it? Now this head is missing its back wheel. Was when I got the machine. I'm not going to bother replacing it, but there should be a wheel that clips in there as well, but again, you don't really notice. Next thing we need to do is fit this, which holds the Brushroll cog to the twisty bit. And to start with, this is a bit thin. In fact, we possibly should have done this before we put the whole head on. You've got to line it up and then push it down like so. Ooh. And then you can put your screw in. Again, this is why long screwdrivers come in handy, because I can go right in from the top. And as long as I can line it up. Come on. You've got to hold it with your thumb as well, otherwise it tries to turn. You just end up turning the entire motor. There we go. Then we can get the brush roll. Now this brush roll is very good. They wear, these are so cheap, like a tenner. With a new one of these. This one is okay. It is okay. You can see it's just starting to not be okay. They wear very, very easily. But this one's okay. We can put it on and twist that. We now need to put the strip that enables it to be used on hard floors without kicking everything back into there, and then you just got to push the end bit underneath. Oh, would you believe it? There we go. Doesn't actually need its full articulation, that part. We are done. This is the clip, which we'll put on there so we don't lose it. And there we go, look. In just a couple of minutes, we have our fully assembled, much cleaner Dyson DC24 head. Right. Let me put this to one side. And I shall get all of the Cyclone stuff out. Carpet's filthy. Okay. Move this out of the way. Still not quite sure where that came from. I don't think it's from this, so over there it goes. We now need to put the Cyclone together. So we need the Cyclone top, the Cyclone middle, both the bottom flap and the bin seal, the various bits and pieces that form the relief valve. There is one of the bits. Here's the other bit. Since I've mislaid the spring, I shall have to find that in a second. We have the top, there's a lot of this. Bottom cone, shroud, bottom seal, a brand new Cyclone gasket. I think at least one of these springs is for it. The bin relief rod, I think, oh, and the top handle, and the bottom flat. Yes, lots and lots and lots of stuff. Right, well, we may as well start. Oh yeah, the bin. In fact, we'll start with the bin. We shall, because we need to get the bottom flap, and we need to push this lower seal onto it, which is quite a simple job, really. Might just need to sort of, it'll get caught up around there, so you just need to sort of keep feeding it around, and eventually, like, it all slips in once it goes inside properly. I keep moving back, don't I? I'm sorry. Last little bit. There we go. And that is our lower seal fitted. Very important this is clean, actually, because this does cause a lot of suction loss. Next, you need to hook one side on, and then you squeeze it with your hand really tight, and it opens this up, and then you can fit your bin. And that is our little bin with its little stupid handle fitted. You can drink that like a teacup. Marvellous, right. Oh gosh, this is one. I'll find that spring in a minute. I think I've seen it about. It fell. I didn't actually put it away when I finished washing it. 'Cause now we've got the fun part, and let me tell you, this spring is one of the most hateful parts of this entire flipping thing that we are going to be doing. But first, we should take our Cyclone screws. What we do is we have that. I know, we had this first. We then fit our brand new Cyclone gasket. These again, you can get, they're actually cheaper to buy in threes than they are singularly, which is a bit stupid. Obviously, if you only need one, it's not too bad. That goes on there. That's basically what you see when this is shut. And I've just remember from the before video, they shred themselves with the airflow. So always fit one of those. Now this spring is what goes behind here. Now if you look, it has little metal tabs. And their job is to basically keep this under tension so it comes out and goes past the back of there. Otherwise it literally hits it square on top. And is a right pain. Only problem is, it's a complete sod to fit. Because you have to get it lined up. It doesn't stay on. You've got to get it lined up. Then you have to, we have it there, look. Try and focus in. It sits in that slot there. So you have to put the spring in a little bit, then twist the entire thing around. Then keep pushing down without letting go until it goes in there, and then you've got to sort of check without letting it spring back. That is, he's pushing back properly. The best way to do that is literally to put the two bits together, hold them like hell, and you'll see that the red bit is now flush with the back. There's not a great deal I can do to show you that at this precise second. Let me just get a couple of screws in. Hang on. Because if this lets go, you can do it all over again. It's not the most fun thing in the world. I'll be honest. Not the most fun thing in the world at all. There we go. When it's pushed, that screwdriver won't work. See, that's wrong. That hasn't done it. That's moved because that is actually, look at that, that needs to be flush with that top bit. So apart the two screws come again. This is the only Dyson that does it. The DC41 has a very similar type of screw, but it's actually much easier. If you're not under tension, it's a lot easier. So off it comes. Back this goes. It's very difficult to know how to explain it as well, because it literally is just trial and error. I've done many of these, and I always end up doing this bit. I always end up doing this bit a good 3 or 4 times. If I don't get it right this time, I shall just fast forward whilst I do the rest, because otherwise this is going to be really boring. You can see there that the spring moved, but it's still in enough. There we go, that's moved something. Yeah, that's just taken all the tension out. There we go. It's just trial and error. Once you do it wrong once, you know what you've got to do. Anybody who does this for a living is probably screaming at me now, and I very much don't blame you. I'm not very good. As I say, I am a screw. Somebody once told me I'm a screwdriver warrior, and it is very true. I am. Because of course, there's videos out there that say, "Oh, you shouldn't take apart Dysons to wash." Well, this thing would have been confined to the scrap heap if we hadn't done this, and there's no need for that at all. Because I'll be honest, apart from the motor, which if you remember from the last video, isn't actually the one that came out of it. It came from eBay, and I'm not 110% sure it actually works. Apart from that little detail, this will be fine for another 5 or 10 years. With the right care and maintenance. They do like to clag their filter up regularly. There we go. Double check. Marvellous. Right, now that's on, we can fit the shroud, which is looking lovely and clean and not at all full of crap. Got to line up the notch at the front with this notch at the front. And then literally push. And it clicks. And then put this seal on. Again, it's got a little notch in it. So you line up with this little notch there. This is what seals the filling, you see. There we go. And then take our lower cone, put the lower cone seal on it. And snap it in. You line up one of the tabs, roughly. And then just push the rest home. Then, we do the top bit actually. I had to find that spring. Hang on. Here it is, look. This is the spring for the release valve, which has seen a lot of use on this cleaner. Hopefully, no more. The spring goes in first. This is the piston that's normally sprung against this, hence its big rubbery seal. But obviously, when the suction gets too much, it's pulled back, which opens the release valve and lets just enough air escape that it doesn't burn the motor out. There's 3 little tabs on it that line up with 3 little holes in the chassis. They're all different sizes, and then it just twists a quarter of a turn, and that is it. Then we can get our handle and feed the red start of the release rod. We then need our 3 screws. And we can put those into here. Like so. Then this bit clips onto here. Again, no new filter. If you watch the motor video, I haven't bought filters for this yet because I want to check it works first. Then you just pop the bin open, hold it by its stupid little handle, line the front up just as you would to empty it, pop that on. That bin needs a bit of a better polish. I'll try to do that for the after video. It's a bit smeary. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, look at that. That is a bit of a polish. And that, my chums, that's loose because the filter creates a bit more of a seal. That, look, is the Cyclone and the Brushroll done. Beautiful. So, thank you for watching this video. We are nearly at the end. 2 more to go. nailing everything onto this and the after video. So, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.